And it goes on. Welcome back to Big Silly Goose Gaming, and today I thought, you know what? Let's talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 some more. Specifically, I'm just curious about like the next thing for it, because the release came out and people were not, really all that happy with, I guess, with the. Well, one, there was that Nintendo Switch 2 introduction game that like wasn't available for like when you buy the game, which was pretty lame. And then Mario Kart World is a mixed bag, with some people being like, it's not that good, it's not that great, and then other people being like, it's Mario Kart, you know what I mean? It's still fun, it's still playable, you know what I mean? It's not like the worst thing that has ever happened, right? So you kind of get like a variety of opinions and a variety of like people saying it's not that good, but it could be better, so maybe you should wait. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I think everybody else is standing right now. And because of that, it's more important to focus on what the future of the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be, as opposed to what it is directly now. Now it's still in the early stages. It just getting started. You know what I mean? So what comes next for it? Well, right now they only have Mario Kart World and that one introductory game for it. Not to mention the other games that you already have for the Switch. So, and whatever is linked to your Nintendo account. So, I mean, you're still playing like Switch games on the Nintendo Switch too. It's just what's the right word? It's nothing like crazy, It's nothing that you couldn't play on your Nintendo Switch. So, the next game I think coming out for the Nintendo Switch 2 is called Raidu Remastered: The Mystery of the Soulless Army. I don't know if it's remastered for the Switch 2 or if it was just remastered in general, but yeah, that's looking to be the next release for the game, for the console. And then after that, I think there is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4. I don't know if those are new releases. I think maybe they're getting a opportunity to be released on the Switch. I honestly don't know if these are Switch 2 like exclusive, or I mean, obviously they're not exclusive. They're probably available on PC and other video game consoles like the PlayStation and Xbox, but I'm saying like if they're new releases and they're going to be available on the Nintendo Switch 2, they aren't quote-unquote exclusive Nintendo games. But after that, it's Donkey Kong Bonanza, and that isn't a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive game, because when they were doing, I think, beta testing, or when they were in the early stages of like promoting the Nintendo Switch 2, they would have certain like creators or testers who are like getting a chance to play the Nintendo Switch 2, and they kind of made them play that game. That was one of the games that they were allowed to try or to play and test out, you know what I mean? So because of that, I think that makes it an anticipated release. But though, because nobody has been talking about the Nintendo Switch 2, it feels like we're kind of in a dry spell with video games, I guess, or with the game, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, people are kind of in the same old, right? I don't know what else has been new or what else has been coming out. GTA 6, that's coming out next year. That got pushed back. That was supposed to be released earlier, this year, like right around this time, or maybe a little later, but you know what I mean? And then what else got pushed back? I know there was another video game that pushed back. Oh, that Marvel, that 1943 story, that thing with Captain America and Black Panther, that got pushed back to next year. So a lot of things are getting pushed back, and because of that, it feels like nothing's really getting made or done. So with all of that, I think the next best thing for everybody will be this, I guess, this Donkey Kong game, or everybody's still on the, I don't want to say the hype train, but they're still on the early stages of playing the Mario Kart World and learning the carts and the maps and stuff and the different tricks to like win the game faster and the little shortcuts and whatnot. So all of that's pretty exciting to watch, I guess. But then yeah, this Donkey Kong Bonanza, it's a new game for the Nintendo Switch 2, so it should be exciting. I'm interested to see what they do with that. And then they have Super Mario Party Bonanza, or no, not Bonanza, my bad, Jamboree. That's going to be a new release, I think, for the Nintendo Switch 2. It could be a Nintendo Switch release as well, so it could be a dual system release. The more and more we progress and we don't get anything like crazy brand new, I feel like there's going to be a lot more dual releases, so that way they can, well, maybe. Eventually they're going to phase out of it and just do Switch 2 releases, just like they did with the other consoles. But this one's a second of what is already made, so if it's not broke, I guess don't fix it, but you know what I mean? I feel like we're not getting anything crazy that's like exciting everybody or pushing the boundaries anymore. And then after that, it's Madden NFL 26. I don't know if that's going to be available for the Nintendo. This could be a first, but I honestly have no idea. I've never seen that. And then they got Kirby and the Forgotten Land Switch 2 edition, so that might be a new one. Or it says Switch 2 edition, so they maybe already have one or made it an exclusive for the Switch 2. I don't know. But it is exciting nonetheless. It's Kirby, so hopefully people will find that exciting. After that, there are a bunch of other video games that are like, I guess, coming to the console or going to be available for it. Later in the year, they have Pokemon Legends ZA, which I'm excited for. Hopefully that goes well. Other than that, it's kind of a dry spell right now. There's nothing worth like hyping about, I guess. But the Mario Kart World is fun to see some of the people play and race against each other and use that game chat option and like yell at each other and curse at each other, like just not what Nintendo wanted. But of course you have to have like all the features and stuff. You have to have the camera, you have the online subscription, so that way you can use the chat option and so on and so forth. So we'll have to see later on this year when they release more games. And what was that? They also had like a Legend of Zelda like DLC or something like that for that time period. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but hopefully you guys know what I'm saying, is that they also had that releasing coming out. I don't know if it was this year, but it was definitely supposed to be released. So maybe it was this year, maybe it was the following year or something. But yeah, that's what to look forward to until next year, I guess. Who knows what the other companies are thinking. Maybe they'll do I honestly don't know if any of the other companies are in development for their video game consoles. It seems like a bit of nobody knows what to do or what direction to go in or how to like progress. PlayStation 6 makes sense, but I don't know about next year. And then Xbox 2, who knows? So all of this to say, I think the Nintendo Switch 2 is not living up to the hype, or hasn't been a huge upgrade for people. So it's kind of hard to be like, yeah, I want to spend however much on the console and then $80+ for the game. So is it really all that worth it, I guess, is what mostly people are trying to figure out. And obviously, if you want it, you know, you can go get it. But if you can hold back a little bit and wait a little while for some better stuff to come out, then I think that's the way to go. So, I by no means am in a rush to get the Nintendo Switch 2. I think that you can hold off for a little while and maybe prolong some of your, you know, what's it called? If you're not interested in like getting in on the hype right away, you know, because something tells me the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be around for a long time until they come out with either a new console or Nintendo Switch 3. So you got some time. Unless something really big shakes up the video game space. Although I am interested in like maybe AI for video games. It could be a way to go with that one. It's a little scary, if I'm honest, but you know, you never know. There could be a way to do it. So, who knows? But until then, well, we'll just have to wait and see and keep on keeping on with what we usually have. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think about the Nintendo Switch 2 or anything for the future of this year for games or whatnot. And thank you so much for watching. Yeah,